The cold metal of the rehabilitation chamber hummed softly around Jay Park's body. Outside the reinforced windows, stars flickered like distant promises, silent witnesses to humanity's most desperate hour. He wasn't just a soldier anymore. He was something else entirely. Years of genetic modification had transformed Jay into a weapon that defied normal human limitations. His muscles, now woven with synthetic polymers and quantum-enhanced cellular structures, could withstand pressures that would crush an ordinary human. Scars mapped his skin like a testament to impossible survival, each mark telling a story of experiments and transformations. The new Denver orbital station hung in space, a lonely sentinel protecting Earth's last technological stronghold. Most of the station's personnel avoided Jay. They whispered about the man who could potentially save or destroy humanity with a single action. Doctors had long stopped treating him like a patient. He was more machine than human now, a living weapon, calibrated to perfection. His reflexes were measured in microseconds, his strength beyond any known biological standard. When he breathed, the air around him seemed to vibrate with potential energy. Monitors blinked silently, tracking his vital signs. Heart rate perfectly steady, muscle density off any previous medical chart, neural pathways firing with inhuman precision. The medical AI constantly ran diagnostics, each scan revealing something more extraordinary than the last. Jay's eyes remained closed, but his consciousness never truly rested. Every moment was preparation, every breath a calculation. He remembered his training, the endless hours of genetic reconstruction, the pain of becoming something more than human. The station's routine hummed around him. Technicians moved quietly, their footsteps soft against the metallic floors. They knew something was coming. The universe had been too quiet lately, and silence often meant danger. A distant alarm began to pulse, soft at first, then growing more intense. Jay's eyes snapped open, pupils dilating with impossible speed. His body, which had been perfectly still moments before, now thrummed with potential energy. Alien detection systems were screaming. Something was approaching. The rehabilitation chamber's restraints automatically released. Jay's muscles rippled as he stood, each movement deliberate and controlled. He wasn't just ready for a fight. He was the fight. Screens around the station began displaying incoming threat signatures, massive energy readings, unprecedented technological configurations. Something was coming that humanity had never encountered before. Jay walked towards the station's command center. His footsteps didn't make a sound. Each step was a calculated movement, a predator's approach. The technicians watched him, a mixture of hope and terror reflected in their eyes. Activation protocol confirmed, a computerized voice announced. Jay didn't respond. He didn't need to. Everything about him was a response. The station's lights shifted to emergency red, casting long shadows across metallic corridors. Somewhere in the vast darkness of space, an alien fleet was preparing to test humanity's limits, and Jay Park was humanity's answer. One man, one mission: stop an entire civilization's invasion force. The odds were impossible. The challenge was beyond comprehension. But Jay had been engineered for the impossible. He was humanity's last, most desperate weapon. As alarms continued to pulse and screens filled with incoming threat data, Jay Park prepared himself. The universe was about to learn what happened when you pushed humanity into a corner. And humanity always pushed back. The station trembled slightly, a subtle vibration that most would miss. But Jay felt everything: the approaching threat, the potential for total destruction, the thin line between survival and extinction. He was ready. Humanity's strongest weapon was about to be unleashed. The UES resistance cut through the darkness of space like a silver blade, its hull gleaming under the distant starlight. Captain Hana Kim stood on the bridge, her hands clasped behind her back, watching the massive holographic display that showed the approaching alien fleet. They came without warning. Crystalline ships that seemed to bend light around themselves, moving with a precision that defied natural movement. Each vessel looked like a fragment of broken starlight, sharp and deadly. Scan complete. the ship's AI announced. Its voice was calm, almost disinterested. Alien fleet composition: 247 primary vessels, 3,692 support craft. Hana's jaw tightened. Those numbers meant total destruction if they reached Earth. Humanity had one chance, and that chance was named J. Park. Communication. Systems crackled. Strange symbols danced across the screens. The alien language, complex and beautiful and utterly terrifying. No one had ever successfully translated their communications before. Prepare defensive protocols, Hana ordered. Her crew moved with practiced efficiency, years of training condensing into precise movements. The alien ships began to form a massive formation. They weren't just approaching, they were positioning themselves for total annihilation. Each movement was calculated, each shift a potential death sentence for humanity. Somewhere deep in the orbital station, J. Park was being prepared. The last weapon, the final hope. Radar systems showed the impossible scale of the invasion. Thousands of ships, each capable of destroying entire cities with a single burst of energy. They moved like a living organism, each vessel connected by some invisible network of communication. Transmission incoming, the communication officer said. Her voice trembling slightly. The alien message was simple and direct. No negotiation, no mercy. Surrender or be eliminated. Hana remembered the briefings, the genetic modifications, the years of preparation. J. Park wasn't just a soldier, he was humanity's last experiment, its most desperate creation. The first wave of alien ships began to move closer. Energy readings spiked, weapon systems charged. The universe held its breath. Activate J. Park's transmission, Hana commanded. In that moment, everything depended on one enhanced human, one weapon, one last hope against a civilization that had conquered entire star systems. The alien fleet continued its approach, silent, deadly, inevitable. But humanity had one final trick. J. Park was about to be unleashed. The universe was about to learn that humans don't surrender, they fight. And sometimes one person can change everything. The space around the UES resistance began to shimmer. Alien weapons charged. Earth's defensive systems prepared for the most important battle in human history. First contact was happening, and nobody knew what would happen next. The alien mothership, named Celestial Spear, hung in lunar orbit like a massive crystal knife. Its surface rippled with impossible geometries, technologies far beyond human understanding. J. Park watched from a small infiltration pod, his breathing steady and controlled. Quantum camouflage technology made him invisible, not just to normal vision, but to every known scanning method. Each molecule of his specialized suit adapted, instantly mimicking the surrounding energy signatures. He was becoming nothing, a ghost. His augmented eyes scanned the mothership's external structure. Weak points weren't just physical, they were mathematical, energy-based quantum-level vulnerabilities. Where others saw an impenetrable fortress, Jay saw opportunities. The first breach happened silently. No alarms, no warnings, just a microscopic disruption in the ship's complex energy grid. Jay moved like liquid metal, each movement calculated to perfection. Alien corridors stretched before him, surfaces that seemed to breathe, walls that pulsed with strange rhythmic energy. Navigation wasn't about physical movement anymore. It was about understanding the ship's living architecture. Defense systems began to detect something, a slight disturbance, a quantum ripple that didn't belong. Automated tracking mechanisms started their complex scanning sequences. But Jay was already moving. His modified muscles could move faster than thought. Reflexes enhanced beyond human limitations. Where a normal soldier would take seconds, he moved in microseconds. Each step was a calculated dance, each breath a strategic decision. Alien security protocols activated. Energy barriers materialized. Weapon systems charged. But Jay was already 3 steps ahead, his brain processing potential scenarios faster than the ship's most advanced computers. He wasn't just infiltrating. He was hunting. The mothership's central systems began to experience strange anomalies, small disruptions, tiny failures that would seem random to most observers. But each was a precise strike by Jay, systematically weakening the ship's complex defense network. Alien warriors began to mobilize, strange beings with multiple limbs and armor that seemed grown rather than manufactured. They moved with mechanical precision, tracking the invisible intruder. But Jay was already gone. Each corridor became a battlefield. Not through violence, but through strategic disruption. A quantum frequency here, an energy grid manipulation there. He was turning the ship against itself, creating chaos through mathematical precision. Proximity alerts screamed. The ship's central intelligence recognized something was wrong. But by the time it could formulate a response, Jay had already moved. He wasn't just a soldier. He was a living weapon designed to do the impossible. Alien communication networks began to collapse. Small systems failed. Critical pathways became compromised. And through it all, Jay moved silently, invisibly. The mothership's core was his ultimate target. One precise strike could collapse the entire invasion force. Millions of lives balanced on a single moment, a single human's ability to push beyond known limitations. Alien warriors surrounded potential breach points. Advanced sensors scanned every microscopic detail. But Jay had already calculated their responses, planned his movements hundreds of steps in advance. One man, entire alien fleet. The infiltration was happening. And humanity's most dangerous weapon was about to show the universe exactly what humans could do. The central chamber of the alien mothership pulsed with strange energy. Varric, the supreme commander, stood motionless. His multiple eyes tracked the invisible intruder that had destroyed most of their fleet's critical systems. Jay Park materialized like a ghost, quantum camouflage dissolving. The alien warriors surrounding Varric froze. One human, surrounded by hundreds of the most advanced combat units in the galaxy. Impossible, Varric spoke, his voice a combination of electronic frequencies and biological vibrations. Jay didn't respond. Movement was his language now. The first wave of alien warriors attacked simultaneously. Energy blades that could slice through battleship hulls. Plasma cannons that could melt entire cities. Molecular disruptors that could eliminate matter at the atomic level. Jay moved. His body was no longer just human. Enhanced muscles responded faster than light. Reflexes calculated impossible trajectories. Where alien warriors saw a target, he saw opportunities. One warrior's energy blade came down. Jay's hand caught it mid-strike. The blade designed to cut. Through starship armor shattered like glass. His enhanced bones, reinforced with quantum adaptive materials, simply absorbed the impact. Varric watched in growing horror. Alien combat strategies collapsed. Their perfect mathematical movements became chaotic. One human was destroying everything they understood about warfare. Jay's movements were poetry, each strike precise, each dodge calculated. He wasn't fighting, he was solving a complex living puzzle. Alien warriors fell around him like rain, their advanced technology useless against human unpredictability. Molecular disruptors fired. Jay's modified cellular structure simply adapted. Plasma waves that should have vaporized him became harmless energy patterns. He was walking evolution, a living weapon beyond comprehension. How? Varric demanded, watching his elite warriors become nothing more than scattered biomatter. Jay still didn't speak. Action was his only language. The chamber transformed into a hurricane of destruction. Energy waves, molecular disruptions, advanced alien technology becoming nothing more than scrap against human determination. Varric realized something humans had always known. True power wasn't about technology. It was about will. One man continued fighting hundreds of the galaxy's most advanced warriors. Each movement defied known physics. Each strike rewrote combat understanding, alien communication. Networks collapsed. Their perfect mathematical invasion plan became chaos.
One human had turned their entire strategic approach into a nightmare. Jay reached Varric. The Supreme Commander realized he was facing something beyond invasion scenarios, beyond technological superiority, beyond understanding. A human, the final.
Warriors attacked. Energy blades, molecular disruption, plasma waves. J. Park simply walked through them. No mercy, no emotion, pure strategic elimination. Varric understood in that moment why humans were dangerous. Not because of their technology, but because of their impossible, unpredictable spirit. The mothership's central chamber became a tomb. Alien warriors scattered, like broken machines. Advanced technology reduced to scrap. One man stood alone. Humanity's message was clear. Do not underestimate us. Jay's final strike approached Varric. The Supreme Commander of the most advanced alien fleet in the galaxy realized one simple truth. Humans fight differently. The transmission went out across the galaxy. No fancy speeches, no diplomatic words. Just pure, raw message from humanity. Earth Defense Headquarters buzzed with controlled chaos. Screens showed the destroyed alien fleet. Thousands of crystalline ships now floated like dead metal in space. And at the center of it all, one man. J. Park stood silent. Global communication channels opened. Every screen on Earth, from massive military displays to small home televisions, showed the same image. One human. Total alien fleet destruction. World. Leaders watched in stunned silence. Military commanders couldn't believe their eyes. Scientists tried calculating the impossible odds. One enhanced human had done what entire armies couldn't. Transmission signals reached deep into alien territories. Mathematical patterns carried a simple message. Humanity would not be conquered. Humanity would fight. Humanity was ready. The surviving alien ships began transmitting their own signals back to their home worlds, not requests for reinforcement. Not strategic reports. Pure terror. Images of J. Park's total destruction played across alien communication networks. A single human had transformed from a weapon into a living legend. No technology, no advanced preparation, just pure human determination. Military. Analysts would spend years studying those moments. How one enhanced human could destroy an entire invasion fleet. How human adaptability could overcome technological superiority. Jay's genetic modifications became humanity's most significant scientific achievement. Not just a soldier, a statement. Earth's defensive systems powered down. The threat was over. But the message was sent. Alien civilizations watching would understand one crucial fact. Humans are not to be underestimated. Orbital stations began cleanup operations. Damaged ships were collected. Alien technology would be studied, analyzed, understood. Humanity's scientific community was already preparing massive research teams. J. Park remained silent. He wasn't a hero. He was a tool, a weapon created to protect humanity's existence. Global celebration erupted, streets filled with people, cities lit up with victory signals. Humanity had survived its first major galactic threat. One man had changed everything. The transmission continued. A simple, clear message repeated across multiple frequencies. We are here. We are ready. Alien civilizations would remember this moment. The day humanity showed its true potential. Not through advanced technology, not through diplomatic negotiations, but through pure, unbreakable human spirit. J. Park watched the celebrations from a distant observation deck. No emotions crossed his enhanced face. He had done what he was created to do: protect humanity. The galaxy would never be the same.